What is up? Welcome to another edition of SacTown Movie Buffs. Once again, I'm Kier, and as you can see, again, there is no Jason. So our schedules were just a little conflicting this week, so we weren't able to actually meet up. Plus, he has not seen this film, so there's also that as well. So I'll be just doing the review myself today, and the film that I'll be reviewing is called Coda. Which is actually, I think, playing on Apple TV. Now it's now streaming, I believe. I actually saw it in theaters at a local independent theater that I hadn't been to since pretty much COVID began. So I was very happy to be back in theaters at the independent theaters, because I've been to like the major ones like the Cinemarks and that sort of stuff, but hadn't been to any independent ones. So it was nice just to get back and be able to watch an independent film in an independent theater, which I haven't done since the beginning of COVID. But I say, without further ado, I say we get right into this review. So Coda is actually a film about, which the acronym pretty much gives away what the film is about. It's basically a child of deaf adults, which is kind of an acronym. So basically it stars Emilia Jones, who plays Ruby, who is basically a high schooler. I think she's like a senior in high school. And her mother and father and her older brother are all adults, obviously. And they are all actually deaf, or part of the deaf community. And so she is the only one that basically is not deaf in their family. And so she is kind of like the go-to focal point for them for, just getting things done, dealing with any issues. They have a family business where they all work for, basically they have a boat and they're fishermen, or fishermen and women, if you will. And so she's basically kind of like the person that does all the talking for them. So if there's like an issue with payment or any kind of upcoming regulations or anything of that nature, like she's kind of like that main person that's always been there for them for any issues that they might have, because it's pretty hard to run your own fishing business, when everybody is deaf, because, they can't hear anything coming over the radio, just there's a lot of other complications with that. And then, like I said, just in terms of pay and things of that nature, because the company or the place where they work at and they basically sell the fish to, those people don't know sign language or anything of that nature. So she's kind of like a translator for them whenever there's an issue or a problem or something that they want to get across whenever they're having this issue. So in addition to that, she also loves music, loves to sing. So she's always sings around the house and just grown up singing. Of course, they've never heard her sing because they're all deaf. And so she's never known like that she had like this amazing voice until she ends up signing up for like this music at her school. And it's kind of hesitant and shy initially to actually get in there and sing, until her teacher basically kind of urges her to let it out, sing. And he discovers that she has this amazing voice, and actually wants to basically have her, when she graduates from high school, enroll into like this music school that would be away basically from her family, which basically in a nutshell causes some issues, because they have relied on her pretty much her entire life to be the translator. And there's issues that arise when she's like studying for or singing music and practice for like this musical that they're doing at her school. So she's doing lessons with this instructor in order to do like this song number, which, the family, they're still doing the boating on their own, the fishing on their own. And they start having issues because things are happening. The Coast Guard tries to flag them down for various reasons, and they can't hear the Coast Guard coming over the radio. And so it just causes a lot of problems and hiccups. So she's kind of torn between pursuing her dreams, basically, of going to music school and, maybe doing something in that realm, and being with her family who are all deaf and kind of need her to be here, and help with the fishing industry or the fishing business that they run. And so that's kind of in a nutshell what the movie's about, without going into, too much detail or anything of that nature. There's also some romance involved as well, which, with her and another boy that she does singing with and that sort of thing. But in a nutshell, I really enjoyed this film. I thought it was a really good moving film. I did like that they cast the three people, the mother, the father, as well as the brother, were actually all part of the deaf community. They were all pretty much grew up deaf. They're either born deaf or went deaf early in life. So they really are deaf, and you'll recognize them. I've seen them in other things and other shows in the past before. And they're all really accomplished, and having a background. I'm not deaf, obviously, but having a background, I actually majored in sign language, or not majored in sign language. I'm sorry. I actually took as my elective in college. I actually took basically 2 years of sign language. So I've actually had some experience being in the deaf community, just because part of our assignments was going and actually interfacing with the deaf community. So a lot of our projects, we would have to go to local deaf meetups and things of that nature. And basically sign with, the deaf community and learn kind of about, the conversations they have and interact. And so I would go to like coffee houses. They had like a night sometimes like outside of a Starbucks or that sort of stuff, and just kind of interact and try to keep up with them, because, obviously I'm not that great at sign language. I'm not an expert, but I was able enough to have at least somewhat of a conversation. So I have some understanding of this deaf community. And so I thought it was just a really, really cool and fun movie. Definitely one that I would recommend for, anyone. You don't necessarily have to be part of the deaf community to enjoy it, or have anyone in your family that's deaf. It's just a really good movie on its own. Like I said, it's just, that typical coming of age film where your family wants you to be there for them, but you kind of want to go off and do your own thing. And so I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great film. The acting was great. The lead singer, the lead star, I should say, her singing was amazing. Amelia Jones. I had seen her in a couple things before, but I didn't know her by name or anything of that nature. But I have seen her. Her face looks familiar from various shows, and I think she's actually been in some other films where she's, I think maybe like Pitch Perfect. I believe she's in there as well, where she was able to showcase her singing skills and abilities and that sort of thing. So really enjoyed it. I definitely highly recommend this one. If I had to give it a grade, I think I'm going to go with a 3.5 out of 5, which is a big old smile with some teeth. Well, have you seen Coda? Let me know down in the comments. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What are your thoughts, your takes on this film? As always, if you like the channel, we ask that you like, subscribe, make sure you hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of the updates. And I'll be back. Jason more likely will be back with another show for you guys again real soon. There's a lot of films that he has seen that I haven't seen though yet, because I haven't actually had time to get to the theaters as much this last week. But I know he's seen quite a few films like Candyman and just, I don't know, like 4 or 5 different films that he's seen. So I need to do some catching up myself so I can be on the same page. So then when we do get back together, I'll be able to discuss those films as well. So join us again next time for another show. And as always, if you like, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much.